Well, I'm now joined by Timothy Williams, who's a state and federal use of force consultant with 30 years of experience at the LAPD. Thank you so much for being on that programme. I don't know if you could hear some of our broadcasts there, but we were hearing deep emotion. Many dared not believe there'd be a guilty verdict in this trial. The jury came up with its conclusion fairly quickly. Talk us through why you believe they could do that.
Well, the prosecution's case was very compelling, and they laid it out for them, chapter and verse, as to what was going on during this time, and really did a deep dive into the 9 minutes and 29 seconds of the last 9 minutes 29 seconds of George Floyd's life. During the closing arguments, they went back and reviewed. The defense tried to put up some reasonable doubt, but Jerry Blackwell, one of the prosecuting attorneys, came back and closed those doors very admirably. I think it's a case that will be taught in law schools for time to come. Not only the case itself, but the opening arguments and the closing arguments as well.
And how will this trial impact future policy in policing and the use of force?
Well, this case has opened up, has changed police leadership, in my opinion, forever. You have a chief of police who's come and testified against one of his subordinates for violating policies and procedure. You had a senior officer, a lieutenant, who came on board and testified about the violation of policy and procedure. You had another lieutenant in training that came up and testified the violation of policy and procedure. And then you had Derek Chauvin's immediate supervisor who came and testified, stating what his actions were a violation of policy and procedure. Then you have folks from training that said, we don't train that. And what you saw on television all over the world was that something that you train. So the bottom line is that leadership has forever changed, and that chiefs have got to come from behind their desks, come from behind in front of the cameras and do the thing and lead. And what you saw by this chief here at Minneapolis Police Department was an act of courage, an act of true leadership, in that he told it the way it was. And it resonated with the jury along as with other members of the department's testimony.
So going forward, you say there's got to be obviously a change in leadership, but what about in terms of training and the culture within police?
Well, the training is always something that should be renewed and should be looked at and modified and changed for the good of the community and the good of the individuals that the police will be in contact with. The culture is something that reform was going to have to try to embrace. You have to bring the right people on with the proper core values, as we say in America. You've got individuals who have to have compassion for the sanctity of life. You have to have compassion for the interaction with people, compassion for people, and you have to have compassion on doing the right thing. These certain things that the department cannot teach you. You have to bring those on, and you have to develop these core values early in life.
Timothy Williams, we've got to leave it there, but thank you so much for being on the programme.